Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today I'm going to be showing you how to prepare a nucleus colony for sale. So I've got a double stack nucleus and I'm going to be transferring it into this box. This is owned by the person who's buying the nucleus off me, and it's better to transfer the frames and the bees beforehand, say like the day beforehand or the morning beforehand. Let the bees get used to that box, and then at night time you close it up, and it means that all the bees will be inside that box then. Because it's a double stack, I'm going to be choosing the best frames I can. So I'm going to be choosing 4 frames of brood in all stages, and I'm going to be choosing a really good food frame as well to make sure the bees don't have any issues with starvation or anything like that. Then I'm going to make sure that I shake all of the bees into the box, including the queen. I'm going to try my best to find the queen. I marked her yesterday, so she should be a bit easier to find. So yeah, I'm going to get cracking with it. I'm a bit worried because it is raining today, showers, so I'm hoping that I can find a dry spot to do it, or dry patch to do it in. But if it rains, then the bees will be fine. Don't worry about it too much. Right, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get my suit on and go. So this is the nucleus colony that I am going to be selling. It appeared in a recent video where I went through it bit by bit, and we saw that it had really good frames of brood. This queen is a beast. She's a year old, so what I'm going to do is the person who I'm selling this nuke to, I'm going to give them the option if they want to, because she's a really good queen. She's the last of the F1 Buckfast that I actually have. Or one out of, I think I've got 2 from last year, and she's laying up a storm. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer him the chance to have a queen from this year's queen rearing for free if that's what he wants. We'll see what he thinks anyway. He's a new beekeeper, so he may not want to risk getting a fresh queen, having to get rid of another one, or maybe he'll just want to do a split straight off. No idea. Either way, I'm going to offer him a free queen anyway, just because I just don't like selling old queens. Right, so first protocol is the entrance is here, going that way. The nuke box that he's given me to transfer the frames into is a Payne's nuke, which is like that. So you move the colony just slightly to the side of it, and then you put the nuke that you are transferring into in the same place as it was before. So it means that any foragers that are out, even though it's particularly rainy and gross today, will fly back to this nuke rather than the old one, because bees, they remember location, not the actual thing, the hive itself. So you could put, I don't know, a pineapple with a hole in it in the same place, and the bees would try and get into that pineapple, trying to find the way in. They don't recognize what the hive looks like, because if you think about it in the wild, it can just be a tiny little hole in any old tree. So they learn the location, not the actual looks of the hive. So what I'm going to do now, so this is going to be particularly full of bees because it's a cold, miserable day. It's rainy as well. So this is going to be full of all the foragers, which are not going to be happy with me opening them up on a cold, rainy day. So I may get stung, but we'll see. I've got a smoker mostly lit. It's not a particularly good job of lighting it, but we'll see. May not need it. These are particularly nice bees, so we'll see. Right, so I like to go from the bottom up. Just move that onto the roof, which is upturned here. So it means if the queen is in here, she can't fall through the floor. And it means I can go through this nuke first. So bees are already investigating me. Not stinging me yet. I got quite a few stings, not from this hive, but the angry hive over there yesterday. So I'm still reeling from that. So I'll take a frame out that doesn't seem to have any bees on. So that's an empty frame, that's fine. Shake any bees that you have into the new nuke, because we're going to try and transfer every single bee from both of these boxes into this. It's going to be nice and concentrated, but it means that you'll be able to transfer it into a hive almost straight away, which is what we want. Right, so that's empty frame and there's nothing in it. I'm going to move that over here out of the way. Right. So all these bees are like, why have you opened us up in the cold, you idiot? And I completely understand that this one is trying to sting me. Go away. So it's not the bees that are usually at home that sting you. It's usually the foragers. So the old bees that are annoyed. So here we are. So I'm just making sure there's no queen on it. A shake. This is another empty frame, so this is going to go into a pile over there. There's a bit of nectar on it actually, but I'm going to move it over there anyway, out of the way. Any bees that have the heads in, just nudge them a bit with your finger and they'll come out to say, oi, knock it off. And as they do that, you can brush them into the new nuke. This is a foundation frame, which they've started drawing out. Any eggs or anything on it? Some eggs, but nothing more than that. So I'm just going to check, make sure there's no queen. She has a pastel red colour because I marked it yesterday. So shake the bees off. Every single bee from this double nuke will go in here. It's going to be more concentrated than it looks at the moment because there's a lot of bees in the top, which I think is where the queen will be because it's warmer in there. Move here. Let's have a look. So this has got a frame of capped brood, which is what we want. It's also got some eggs on it, fresh eggs, so the queen might be on this frame. Have a quick look, see if we can see her. I'm not seeing her there. As I said, I think she'll be in the top box. So, because it's got a frame of brood in there, we want to keep that just in case. You can always shake the bees off and take that out if we want to. But for now, we've got a frame of brood. We want 5 frames of brood and 1 frame of food. That's the aim of the game. Any that are empty or have very little stores or something in it can go in the pile over there, which I'm not going to be giving to him. So there's the queen. Found her. That's important. So I found the queen. I know that she's transferred, so I can relax now. So she's going to be going in. This is a frame of brood. It's got eggs, brood in all stages. So she's going in. So there she is. She's got a pastel red colour on the back. And she's milling about. This queen is lovely. The bees are nice as well. I know one just tried to sting me a little bit, but that's my own fault really. So the queen is in. So we don't have to worry about it now. So I can just shake bees in willy-nilly and have a look at what's going on. Like that. So that is a frame of nectar, so that can stay out. Bees there. If you're going to brush them with your fingernails because they can't sting through your fingernails. Again, there's one there with the head in. Just nudge them a little bit, tickle them. They'll come out and say, what the bloody hell do you think you're playing at? When they do that, knock them in with your fingernails. Right, so that's empty. Apart from some of the flyers, but they'll fly back in a minute. Right, so this is now just got some bees in it at the bottom there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tap them out as best I can. I'm going to tilt it like that first because there's some bits of pollen that are in the bottom and some other like branches and stuff. So because the branches fall quite regularly here. So I'm going to shake those bees in, brush them in. There we go. That's moved out of the way. And now I'm going to transfer. I've got 2 frames in there that are of brood, so I've got 4 frames of brood I need to put in. The bees are getting annoyed, but as you can see, they are flying into this box. So any of the flying bees that I've just knocked loose, they're now coming to this instead of this nucleus colony. I'll show you that in a minute if I need to. Right. Just need to smoke myself. They are a bit annoyed that I have opened them up in the cold, but they aren't stinging me. But every time I say that, I get stung. So this is a solid frame of brood, capped brood. The reason that there's gaps in it is because whenever a bee's come out, they've filled it with nectar. So that isn't a laying problem, that is a space problem, so that's fine. This queen is awesome. Any that don't have, any of these holes that don't have nectar in them have got eggs in them. So this is a solid queen. She's awesome. Really, really good queen. I'd be surprised if he actually wants to replace her. But if he does, of course, you can have one for free. The reason I'm giving him one for free is because overwintered queens, they tend to slow down when it comes past spring. So it's usually good. So this is another frame of brood. Let's see if there's another capped frame. Right. So I want to find as many capped frames. That's another frame that's full of larvae on that side, and it's got bees being capped on this side. And again, it's got loads of nectar in between as well. So what I might do, because there's lots of nectar in between these cells, is I might not give him a food frame, I might give him another brood frame. Another one that's full of capped brood. This queen is going to, well, this nuke is going to explode soon, so this guy needs to get his bees into a hive ASAP. Ah! They're not stinging me, but they are pinging me, and it always makes me a bit nervous, especially after a day like yesterday when I got stung about 8 times. Right. There we are. So I'm on. So I'm looking for the last frame now. So that's another frame of solid brood. Just gonna have a look at the other two just to see what they're like. Oh, that is a frame of honey. A very heavy frame of honey. So I'm actually going to give him another frame of brood, because that's good, and it means that when he transfers them to the hive, they'll start expanding almost instantly. So just wiggle that. So the Payne's nuke boxes are great. They come with their own little feeder here, which is fine. Make sure that you have this in though, because sometimes the queen gets stuck in there. They build comb down here, and the queen goes in there, and there's no way of getting her out safely. So make sure that you've got this in place for when the lid's on. The queen is here on this frame somewhere. So now all I need to do is shake the bees in that's left in this box, and then seal it up. And this nuke is now ready for sale. So I'm going to shake it in. Oh, it's a very heavy frame to shake. That's a couple of kilograms, I'd say. But this is jam-packed with honey, so these guys are good gatherers as well. Just brush them in with your fingernails. You will get some flyers coming back up going, "Oi, this is our frame." But they will fly back to the hive in a bit. Shake one last time, get those off the corner. Right, there's only a few bees now. Right. The frames that aren't going to be used, don't worry about them. They will be put onto another colony. So the eggs and the larvae in this one will be used. I'll be putting them probably on this to bolster this one, or in that one over there. We'll see. But either way, don't worry about them. They're perfectly fine. Right, let's knock these bees in that are left here. You know that the queen's in the actual hive, in the nuke that we're selling, so we can just be a bit rougher than usual. Yep, the bees don't like that particularly much. So I'm going to smoke them a bit. Okay, and now I'm going to put the lid on. Make sure the bees are away from the edge when you put the lid on, because you don't want to crush anyone. The lid is on now. So put a brick on, Done. So this now is ready for sale. I'm going to show you that the bees are traveling to the nuke entrance. So as you can see, the bees are now relocating to this one. So because this is in the place where the other nuke was, they know that this is their home rather than the other nuke. If I put the nuke next to it, they'd still go to this one because it's in the right location and it's got a hole. So what I'm going to do tonight is, well, right now I'm going to tape this up. So the last thing you want to do is have a nuke box that opens itself up while you're driving home. So I just use masking tape. It's enough to hold the lid down if you use enough of it, and it doesn't damage the box, so they can take it off relatively easy without damaging the polystyrene. So it's easy enough. Get a long amount like that, put it over and make sure that you contact all sides. Probably only need like 3 or 4, hold in place. The benefit of using masking tape as well is that you can cut through it really easy with a hive tool. So it means that when he gets it home, all he has to do is do a quick swipe with his hive tool and it'll be open. Just move this here. Right. So tonight, or whenever he's coming to pick it up, at night time, the bees will all be inside this box when it comes later on in the night. And what I'll do is, with these entrances, all you need to do is turn it onto the mesh one like that, so they've got some ventilation so they can still breathe okay. And what it means is that no bees can come out. I'll probably secure it with a drawing pin as well, just here somewhere. So open it up for them again. So that is job done. That nucleus is ready for sale. I've made sure I've seen the queen. I made sure that she's marked. I've put the best frames I found in there. So the majority of them were solid brood. There's food in there as well. And there's also brood in all stages. So you've got eggs and you've got larvae in it and all that sort of stuff as well. So all you'll need to do now is you'll need to take this to where he wants it. Put the entrance in their direction that he wants it to be facing forever. Leave it for a day so they can reorientate, and then after a day or so you can move it straight into a hive and these guys will start filling it out straight away. I'm probably going to recommend that he feeds them because he's bought them during a natural dearth, and if he's a new beekeeper then it means that he's going to have loads of frames of foundation that they're going to need to draw out before they move on to the supers. But I don't think it's going to take long at all for these guys to just explode. So yeah. Anyway, job done. I hope you have a really nice day. Goodbye.